All right, we'll go ahead and get it synced up for everybody in YouTube land. We are here live on Twitch right now. I think we got like 30 or so viewers for the final live reaction of Hunter x Hunter. We've been on this grind for over a year now. It's wild that it's going to end. I feel like when I started, I'm like, man, this is going to take forever. And now that I feel that it's over, I feel like it went by like that. I don't know how many of you maybe subscribed or came along during my Hunter x Hunter journey. If you did, I appreciate it. Hopefully you'll stick around for future anime and channel reactions if you guys have been here for a while, since the Dragon Ball days. Another anime up, another anime down, and we'll keep pumping them out. Comments on episode 147 was a lot of like he say, she say as far as like what really happened to Kite. It looks like there's not clarification on how his soul kind of hung around, got reincarnated. Maybe it's part of his ability that doesn't allow him to die. I saw a lot of back and forth, so I really didn't get a consensus, but you know, I'll just kind of leave it at that. And yeah, if you're just here for the Hunter x Hunter, I appreciate you being here. If we ever get the anime continued 50 years from now, hopefully y'all will come back around when we're old and picking up kind of where the manga left off. Is there any other kind of pre-episode questions other than the manga is still all going? I kind of got explanation on the koala's kind of speech there at the beginning. I wonder, and maybe you guys in Twitch chat can let me know, is it a full reincarnation of Kite? Like he remembers, you know, his parents going to school. He remembers Ging and training with him. Like he remembers what he had for breakfast the day before he died. Like he is it's exactly his mind just put in another body, or she's just the reincarnation of Kite. Like if you bring something up to her, she might like vaguely remember it. Oh, Gon, I remember you and Killua. Like you can jog her memory, but it's not like a splitting image of Kite. We don't know. I see. Yeah, you know, it's fine. And yeah, back and forth as far as like I got a lot of kind of arguments on, was it his ability that allowed him to do that, but was it more like the koala said where souls do get reincarnated? Because the koala made it seem like when you die, you just die. That's it. But clearly that can't be it because he remembers his previous life of being this hitman assassin. So how did, you know, the spirit get from one place to another? There looked like a lot of debate on that back and forth. Um, but yeah, that's, you know, another discussion for another day. Let's yeah, just a lot of everything was just kind of Kite related, and then when we go to the post episode discussion and kind of have our last kind of reactions, we will leave it there. So, let's go ahead and get into it for the final time on my channel, Hunter x Hunter episode 148. Let's just kind of see kind of where it takes off and where it ends. We will go from there. Everybody in yeah, but some people said the queen didn't eat Kite's brain. So I'm like, did she eat any part of Kite? Because if she did eat a kind of a part of it, that makes a little bit of sense. But again, I have no idea. Um, but everybody in Twitch land, you guys let me know if you guys are synced up and ready to go. Give me the 3, 2, 1, the green light, the thumbs up, the I'm ready, whatever it is. We're at the very beginning. We are 1 second in. So you guys get that synced up. It looks like they kind of loosely tied off everybody else's storyline. We didn't catch up with Leorio. We haven't seen Karapika. Was Karapika here? I don't even remember. I don't think so. That was interesting that he wasn't involved, but they brought like everybody back, even from the Hunter exam. Killua, what I take from last episode is Gon is no longer Killua's light. You know, Killua doesn't feel the need to chase after Gon, whether that's maybe loss of their relationship a little bit from what happened. Maybe there's still kind of a little like wedge or splinter in between it. Or maybe it leans more towards Killua's like, there actually is things in life that I can do and strive for, and I don't have to follow after somebody else, you know. My new life's goal is to protect her and kind of do this and all that. So it's kind of, say how you want to say, because even though they said sorry, there was still a look on their faces when they departed. As far as Gon said he was sorry, but you still felt like the pain of it, like it was resolved, but it wasn't resolved. And I think the only reason it kind of resolved as it did was because they both kind of had things they were ready to do. Killua had a purpose, and Gon was at the finish line of his goal. So there was an apology issued, and I got a lot of back and forth as far as like, what did you expect? How deep did you want the interaction between two 12-year-olds to be? You know, he said he was sorry. Like, what more can he say? You know, he's full of emotions. He's just an enhancer. Don't expect him to be remorseful or really have deep, intricate conversations on like what he did and why he did. He just did. And that's fine. That's how it was written. But I would have enjoyed kind of more of the like deep philosophy of Gon, the character Gon. Like I said, the writer cut us off from him mentally when he was going through yeah, Mito wouldn't handle that shit. Gon would have to sit down and really go over it. But the author really kind of cut us off from Gon's, like, we were deep in Moral's thoughts, deep in Knuckles, deep in Killua's, like, we were deep, shit, even Poof and Pito, like, we got deep, like, inner thoughts and, you know, just trying to go through things. And, like, Gon was cut off. But I had a lot of people say, well, that's Gon's character. We knew that from the beginning. He was never this. He was just a carefree. He was just a kid. You know, kids rage. Kids do things. They don't have emotions. What kind of explanation do you expect a 13-year-old kid to make? But I'm on the flip side. Like, the writing that has happened in this anime, I want to know what Gon thinks of what just happened. Does this man not know that he was a 30-year-old man a couple days ago? Like, he was 6'8"? I want to know, like, what went into that and what does he think about it. All we got was like, he's sad about Kite, he needs to say sorry because he said some things. Yeah, you said some serious things. You also were holding a girl hostage threatening to kill her. But it's wild. We'll just kind of leave it there. He's a sociopath, but even sociopaths got to, you know, explain at some point. But maybe if the manga continues or we get an anime 20 years from now in the year 2050 and Gon and Killua come across each other a little bit older, maybe we'll get some more. I don't know. But let's go ahead and do it. That's another conversation. We could talk about all this after. And kind of leave that there. So we'll just kind of leave it there because it went from like Gon's a kid, Gon's a monster, Gon's a kid. And it just is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and get it started here. We're 1 second in for the final time. Hunter x Hunter, episode 148. Pressing play on the episode right now. Also, shout out to Sam. I don't know your last name, or it might be in your Twitter name. I don't want to leak anybody's last name or anything like that. Yeah, I don't dislike Gon's story because I want more. I just want more. Shout out to Sam. He linked me a mega file that had about around episode 100. It was all downloadable episodes. I didn't have to buffer them from a host or website. And if it wasn't for that man Sam, I would have had a real headache trying to finish all this. So shout out to Sam who gave me that downloadable file to where I could just click and watch. Appreciate you. He's the greatest hunter there is. See, now I wonder what their relationship's going to be. Because it looks like Ging made it a point, like, hey, if you have Nen, you can access this videotape or this tape recorder and follow me and chase after me. Now that he doesn't, does Ging kind of soften and just, interact with his son? Or past and future, title of the episode. I wonder what their relationship is going to be after this. Is Ging still going to be kind of out of the picture? And if Ging is out of the picture, what does Gon do? What is his motive for the rest of his life? He can't strengthen his Nen, and if his dad's like, "Hey, I'm out," what does Gon want to do? Do you just go back to the island and live with Aunt Mito and fish for the rest of his days, or I wonder what Gon does after this. Getting all them flashbacks. Tompa, Hanzo, I forget the guy's name with the mustache. Yeah, Gon's not my top 5 characters. He's a good character, though. Yeah, maybe Gon takes up Gunji, and he becomes a Gunji champion. Who knows? All the Heaven's Arena. I feel like Heaven's Arena, I don't know, is an underrated arc. Can we agree on that? I feel like Heaven's Arena is very underrated. Maybe he does become an alcoholic. Yeah, maybe he becomes a master fish hunter. People come all across the world to watch him fish. Great Island. We know he should be able to run this. Well, I don't know. Running uphill is a lot different than running what they ran in the Hunter arc. Palm, Knuckle. Yeah, Gon couldn't deal with all those strategies. Like, see, I don't know if Gon's thinking of all this, which I'm sure he's not. What is up with the thing that they've done with the noses? I don't know why that's keep bothering me. They've never done it, but they introduced it in the last, 3 episodes. I would have liked to see Gon sitting down thinking about all that and see his reaction, but... He doesn't have his hunter license on him, does he? Oh, he did get it back. I didn't know he got it back. Did he get it? I don't remember when he got that back. Hunter exam arc is good too. I mean they've been showing the noses and then they've been putting that light line on the noses. They haven't done that the entire anime. But all of a sudden they start. I don't know why that's bothering me so much. Because it's standing out so much because they haven't been doing it. Is that image I see all the time on everybody's thumbnails, Gon standing here looking at that for episode 148. I know it's supposed to be a shadow, but the way it's drawn is just... Woo! I don't think he fell. I think he went up. I would have liked to see how Ging scaled this. Yeah, I don't think Gone will be in my top 5, but dang, this is really it. We're already like what, 5 minutes in? Sheesh. Episode. I mean, I feel like the episode's almost over. I mean, it is. We're 25% of the way in. Dang, Dontrell Durant. Finish up and come on back on the YouTube and watch the rest of it. I think the first time we heard this song right here was when we saw Ging for the first time when he listened to him on the tape, and we flashed to Ging sitting on top of a monster, sitting on top of a bigger monster. That's what I remember this soundtrack from. I think last episode they gave us every single original OST. Was there a dead body up there? I don't know how I feel about the. I like the original Hunter x Hunter soundtrack. I'm just always for, changing it up from opening to opening. Oh shit, look at this dude. Is he even remotely close to the top? Yeah. Gon falls, and as he's about to hit the ground and die, the anime just cuts to black, and that's it. Okay, he is almost there. Maybe it is the same tree. Maybe it's not a tree at all. No, it's definitely a tree. Is he just up there eating snacks, like hanging out? Is he even there? Is there another note like, okay, now I'm back at the bottom, come get me? They've had some good OST soundtracks, like in the episode. And there's different ways that they've had like the saxophone kind of play the opening and kind of all that stuff, but all right, let's see what they've got to offer us in this conversation because this is it, boys. This is it. I haven't seen Yu Yu Hakusho now. I don't want your half-eaten apple. I want a fresh one. Yeah, I hear Yu Yu Hakusho. A lot of people say Yu Yu Hakusho is how Hunter x Hunter should be written. I don't know. It looks like a completely different character without that fucking vagabond head wrap on. That's just what I've heard. I've heard people compare Yu Yu to Hunter x Hunter. People say Yu Yu is Hunter x Hunter if you like more fighting. And then I've heard people say Yu Yu is how Hunter x Hunter should have been written. I say people say Yu Yu is Hunter x Hunter if it had more fights. It's just a back and forth. It's all opinion, guys. Everybody's got their favorites and their least favorites. It's okay. Oh shit, it's just one big. This is where Homeboy was talking about he worked on or was trying to do. I thought this is where the guy from the Hunter exam worked at. Well, I thought he said, "All right, guess I'll be going." I'm like, bro. But he said, "I'll keep going." Which is a whole lot of nothing. Back at everybody. Yeah. This is a classic Hunter Hunter. That flipping xylophone just tapping that last key. Yeah, what are you up to these days, gang? What are you doing? So it's not a tree. It is a tree. Only grow this tall. He said outside. What the fuck is that shit? Where are we? Good God. So who's gonna go explore that shit? Is this he say she say though, or how does one get outside of this world? I guess we'll find out. I might not find out, but I want to go back and look at that shot. I couldn't. It was. I need to go back and look at that picture. Station. Qualification. Contract. I still haven't. He hasn't attained a single one of the 4 that he needs. What? You know where to find me, type shit. Is it like some Jack Sparrow type shit? You just take a boat to the end of the world, and you know you just sail off the side. The world really is flat, type shit, or damn Pokemon taking up flight. Oh, he has his hunter license. Yeah. Don't toss it. See, I would like to hear Gon tell Ging what happened on the island with the ants and just see him kind of retell the story and see the images flash in his head and just kind of how he just takes it all in there. So it's actually exactly like Attack on Titan as far as like we think this is the world, but the map just isn't expanded. It's not like they're a globe on side it. A globe. That's it. Yo, wow. Wow. I don't care who did it first. Attack on Titan, Hunter, Hunter. I don't care who did what. I saw Attack on Titan first, so that's what I mean by like Attack on Titan. Oh yeah, he does owe him money for whose disciples showed up. Um, haven't watched that far of Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan might be the best anime ever. You should really get in there. R.I.P. to that man Netero. My man Ecalgo got himself a damn iPad. What a come up. So are we? So is it like a Dragon Ball multiverse where there's like different universes in one big cosmos, or is their map only drawn so far but there's actually more world out there, or do they really have to go like through the stars and galaxy to get to these places? There's more world? Okay. Look at my man collecting those eyes. Ah, okay, okay, okay. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, I was about to say, like, what are we actually doing? What are we actually doing? Wait, but then was one of them the real Goto that died? Did the real Goto actually die? I don't know. Powerful people. So did Netero know of the Dark Continent? Don't go in there. We don't. I don't need to see this. Real Goto died. Okay. Oh, they're gonna keep it a secret. I mean, does he have the same abilities? I don't want to theorize too much into the Dark Continent stuff because if I don't continue with the manga, I don't want to, just deep dive in. And that is it. Wow. Oh, I'm gonna let this fully finish out just in case. That's a good life motto. Don't always look at the big goals. Enjoy the little detours along the way. That is really it. Wow. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, what? If you're not a manga reader and you have no intention of reading the manga, how the hell are you gonna just show us a world 10 times the size of what we've seen and be like, all right, well, that's it, we're out? What? What? It still hasn't set in that that's it. Holy shit! I need to go back and look at that exact image. A real world tree taken magma. It did feel like Dragon Ball ending. Maybe it'll be another 20. Maybe it will be 20 years. Who knows? There's a lot of Dragon Ball parallels in this. I mean, a lot. Straight up character designs. Straight from Dragon. All right, I need to pause this. Yeah, if Hunter x Hunter kept going, I could agree that it could possibly end up being the best. Now that it's over and we'll talk about it, it's not my number one. Um, but man, it feels like just the anime feels in. I mean, the story is incomplete. Let's just talk about it while we're going. The story is incomplete. There's so many like left. There's so many storylines, And just because the story is incomplete doesn't mean it's bad, but it's like, man, you want to see it finish. I could imagine, like, I just finished, but imagine you finished the anime years ago and you finished the manga years ago. I mean, it's not like you're going to fall behind on the manga. Chapters don't come out but once every 8 months. Um, but man, you want to see a story continue and go, and you want to see this. Not even, I'm not talking about fan fiction things because we could all write fan fiction things. I want to see this fight, that fight. I want to see the story go this way, this way. Everybody has fan fiction headcanon. But like, I'm not even talking about that. Even if it goes exactly the way you want it, it goes completely opposite. You, as a reader, as someone that's telling you a story, you want to see the story continue. Um, And I agree. The point of the anime was to find Ging. The point of the anime was to find Ging. But I feel they did it dirty to find Ging and then drop this world building bomb, you know? Adults with common sense choose not to go near Pandora's box. I want to see that map shot that we had. Okay. And nothing but a small part of. Okay, so that's why I kind of got confused. It looked like a globe inside of something else. Um, because the water is dark blue and everything else surrounding it. Again, is this supposed to be an accurate depiction of what's really out there? And then so I wonder when we flash to Gang 100 something episodes back, was he in the Dark Continent when he was on the tape recorder and he's like, if you want to find me type shit, and we like flashed over worlds and continents and everything? Was he there? Is that where those like triple beast on top of beast came from? Or I don't know. So I agree with a lot of the comments. Hunter x Hunter, it feels like it can't be my favorite because the story's incomplete. Also, I agree with some of the other people saying it was low on the action side. But I'm again, not everything needs action to be the favorite. But I do enjoy fights from now on, so I agree. That as well. So it's just back and forth. Oh yeah, he's never been. What are we talking about? He just said he didn't have what he needed to go. And I wanted to read that part. What are the things he said he needed that he hasn't gotten a single one of? He did say he hasn't been there, so disregard everything I said about that. Yeah, I agree with Warheads right there. I think Hunter x Hunter's good. It's a good. There are many requirements to go outside, but who makes these requirements? It sounds like I don't know the resources Ging has and who he knows, the information he knows. He says there's requirements to go outside. Could you just stumble upon it? And like I said, could I just be in a boat? I'm just a lonely fisherman out on the furthest island closest to the dark world that there is, and I just get washed in one day. Is there something is there something actually keeping people out? Again, I don't know why I'm asking, because as an anime only, that's where the anime ends. So I don't want to dive into too much of the deep continent stuff in case I don't read the manga. It's just going to be information I don't need. But I did want to see um authorization, the means. So someone's got to allow you. You have to have the means. What? The money, the resources to go. You have to be qualified and a contract. What? Like you could die, please sign here type shit? Or I do want to go back to that world map image and just kind of leave it there. That's a dope shot. Dope shot. Let me actually go ahead and brighten that up, and then we can get into some questions and all that kind of stuff here. Let me filter this real quick and brighten it up so you guys can see the chat. But yeah, that's a dope image shot right there. Pretty dope. Boom. So let me actually kind of read the chat here. I fell behind a little bit. So the queen ant came from the dark continent, but how did she just like stumble on in? Because I mean, he did say there were forms of beasts not here and all that kind of stuff. So then, what's to keep it from happening again? You know, it's getting dark outside. I might need some. There we go. That'll be better. Yeah, if I did. Yeah, Matthew, I've been told by a lot of people to do Yu Yu Hakusho that it has similar writing as Hunter x Hunter, but it has the fights that you don't get. Dark Continent is a hostile place. Even Netero struggle to survive. We're very bad things, but also superfood, endless energy, a lot of things. And my thing is like, how does Nen play into the Dark Continent? Is there greater powers out there than what Nen could even allow somebody? Or is the whole entire world revolved around Nen? And there's Nen users out there. Do humans live out there, or is it just kind of all uninhabited world and beast? Are humans born in the Dark Continent, or are only humans born where we know humans to be born? And if there are humans out there, they have ventured out there. Maybe everybody born out there has Nen access to them. I don't know. Yeah, the anime did feel complete, but man, that was dirty to drop that Dark Continent bomb in there. Yeah, maybe somebody put the queen in there. And with the speaking of the queen and all that kind of stuff, I know we talked about Pariston kind of taking all those ant hive sacks, and I don't know if they hinted at kind of using those ants, those hybrid ants as um training for new hunters. Is that something that is going to be implemented? Like, is that their plan with those ants? Or are they going to figure out? I didn't know if that was for real. Like, this is going to be our new hunter exam. Get hunters to fight against these, like, killing, hyped up species, or are they going to, or do they want to research them to figure out maybe a way to turn them back? Like, is Palm always going to look like that? It's. Yeah, and even if the queen was there, she was already part human. So something happened that she was there, and how she got put in. Um, yeah, so maybe it was all Pariston related. Maybe Pariston went out there. He's like, how can I push this man? Let me bring in this female ant. Try to fuck shit up. I don't know. Oh, that makes a good. That's a good explanation. Aluka being from there. Okay, I can. I'm getting down with the get down. Yeah, I will say though, the anime did end in a way that if it did come back, that's your jump off point right there. If it did come back, we could go off right there. Let me since we're gonna be, let me fix this real quick. Let's try to let me crop this a little bit better here if I can. Actually, I don't know if I'll be able to crop it. I want to pull this chat to be a bit bigger, but not do that. Let me see here. I think I can actually that we'll just leave it. I'm not gonna fuck with it. We'll just leave it. Yeah, okay. And then is Pariston still a part of the Hunter board? Does he still kind of, do what he does or is going to do? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Manga readers, I could imagine getting left on hiatus like that. We might need to start doing manga reactions, but the thing is, like, they're going to end. Here's the thing. Do I want to be cut off where I am now or cut off with the manga? Like, it's going to be, this feeling is going to be the same. I'm either going to stop the Hunter x Hunter journey here, stop it here, and wonder, and just take what I got, take that, put in my pocket, and just go on, just take it. I'll think about the dark world, but it's information I don't know / information I don't need. I got what I got here. I don't need to find any more about it. I don't need to see characters grow or change or die. Like, I got what I got right here. I could just take that story, deuce out, and keep going. Or do I want to dive into the manga, get more invested, and then get to the end of the manga and sit waiting around like y'all for 18 months, 8 years? It's, mm. I think I should stay cut off here. It's like, what's in the box? It could be a boat, but I already have a boat. But there could actually be a boat in the box. I don't know. When ends Fighting King. Yeah, we could just all be in pain together, or. But if I start the manga, I'm going to finish it. I'm not just gonna dive in to see it. Like, I'm gonna see it through because I want to get more information about this like dark continent stuff. But even if I get spoiled, I'm gonna want to like research and find out more. And it's just it's a lot. It's just a lot. I'm pulling up the YouTube video so I can dive into people's comments and stuff. But yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. True, like I do have people that would watch the reaction. It just sucks, like not having a story continue, because then we're all just going to be sitting here. And then it's like, if I dive into one manga, what's going to stop me from going into other mangas? I don't even know where you acquire said mangas. I mean, I'm sure you could Google it. I don't know if there's one site that like always publish. If there's like a Crunchyroll for mangas that like every time there's a new manga issue that comes out, it's just there. It's a lot. I mean, I'm gonna think about it. I'm definitely gonna think about it for sure. Because I'm watching a lot of short animes right now. Short meaning like it's less than like 50 episodes. As far as Demon Slayer, with what I have left with Full Metal, I have 50 episodes left. When I start Vinland Saga, it's only going to be 20. So a lot of this stuff is going to be done in the middle of summer. And of course, I'm gonna take votes, and I'm sure we'll start another 2 or 3 animes. But there might be a dead period there where like My Hero's done, Full Metal's done, Demon Slayer's done, Vinland Saga's done. We're doing podcasts and stuff. Maybe we dive back in then. I just don't. I wonder. I mean, I'm sure it's just as big. You guys probably know more than I do. For people that do anime and manga reactions, what's like the bigger draw? I guess what generates kind of more? Is it the manga chapter reactions, or is it the anime reactions? I feel like they're kind of both one and the same. Depends on how good the story is. If a story is anime only and the anime is damn good, people are going to show up for the anime reactions. If the manga is one of the best, people are going to show up for the manga reactions. Like, yeah, Black Clover. Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, again, I don't know. I feel like the masses kind of, at least maybe in America, go more towards anime than reading manga. So I feel like maybe the reactions online, more views and more interactions will be towards anime episode reactions as opposed to manga. Manga rock. There are a bunch of chapters. The manga is good. Rank Hunter amongst your favorite? Yeah, okay, so we can do that. Yeah, we'll start getting into questions. Let me write that down, or I don't have anything to write that down, but somebody, remember to bring that up. Actually, I got a piece of paper right here. Ah, I don't even know what this piece of paper is. So, because I'm gonna do I'm gonna just try to get I'm gonna try to get all the questions answered. Black Clover. Whatever happened to Black Clover? I remember when Black Clover hit the scene, it was that My Hero, it was that Demon Slayer, talk about, and then that shit just sounded like it fell off hard. Is it still that shit? Is it still good, or New World Review, Attack on Titan, Naruto, something else, Hunter x Hunter? How would you rate Hunter x Hunter? That would be a big oof. Naruto over Hunter x Hunter. Black Clover was never good. Rank your top 10 characters. Top 10? Oh shit. I need to make sure I bring up a character list because I don't want to forget any. Top 10 characters. Arc rankings. What else we got? Black Clover lives. Okay, so I got all that. It looks like kind of the same, just kind of ranking and ranking. I'm going to scroll through the YouTube video that I told everybody to kind of leave comments on, and let me see questions. So somebody wanted to know my thoughts on everything kind of after it was left hanging. Yeah, we talked about it. The whole dark dimension, like it's some fucking Doctor Strange shit. But yeah, I mean, it might as well be. Damn, that's a damn good cliffhanger. Black Clover is terrible. Top 5 character designs. Okay, hold on. I'm writing with a Sharpie. I'm about to pass out from these fumes. Designs. Matchups. Yeah, that's a good one. Strongest to weakest Nen category? Ooh. I'm gonna have to pull up a... Well, now I can freely search the interwebs and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so how did I feel about these characters? What are your thoughts on the things that were left kind of unfinished? Krollo's fate. That's another thing. Like, I feel like there was a lot of loose ends, but it makes for being able to revisit, but what if it's never revisited? I'm going to answer these questions, as an anime only. I'm going to answer all these questions as an anime only viewer, and as if the story is never going to continue. Because as far as we know, if you guys have some insider information that I don't know, as far as we don't know if the anime will ever come back. So if I'm an anime only reader, and say the manga keeps trickling around like it is, we don't ever know. Yeah, maybe, I'm guessing because you guys have told me Krollo and Hisoka fight. So to talk about Krollo's fate, it's kind of hard because clearly he gets his abilities back, and they were hinting at like clearly he's going to get his abilities back. I'd have liked to have seen it and then kind of. So dealing with Krollo's fate, I'm guessing he gets his abilities back. I'm sure he doesn't. He tried to fight Hisoka, or Hisoka wanted to fight, he couldn't. So to be hung up on his fate is kind of back and forth. What I've liked to have seen is kind of what did he want to do next? We saw like the resolve of the troop, like they care about each other. They wanted to fight for Uvo. They wanted to, almost to a point of kill the chain user or at least capture the chain user for Uvo. So I'd like to have seen kind of like when he got his abilities back, what's the plan next for the group? Are they just going back to Meteor City? Are they just going to go around, just stealing and killing again? Is there a bigger motive? I do wonder about that, and maybe that is answered in the manga and stuff. I'm not sure. And the same thing with Kurapika left hanging. You figure maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know where Kurapika's story is. Kurapika in the anime. I don't know what their new goal is, so the new thing would be what do we think of Kurapika's storyline? Kurapika. I don't know what happens in the manga, but I would be real shocked and surprised because now they know what she looks like. Fuck. They know what he looks like. I'd be highly shocked if they get caught off guard and surprised again with that shit. I'm guessing all the visions that they saw Paku Nodo reveal and show, they've got an image, they know the abilities, they've at least seen it, they know what's going on. So I would be shocked if Kurapika was able to get the jump on them again with something like Uva, being able to separate them, have somebody just charge in there solo. So with Kurapika's storyline, I don't know what he could do more than what he already did without sustaining some kind of loss or needing help or backup or something. I don't know what happens with the Hisoka and Chrollo fight in the anime. If it just kind of neither of them die, maybe Chrollo dies. And maybe that kind of maybe helps kind of splinter the spiders to where Kurapika could pick them off one-on-one because they're so just kind of fragmented. They don't have a leader. I know they're supposed to, keep going, but it is Chrollo. Maybe Hisoka kills Chrollo, and that makes it easier for Kurapika to kind of, get in there and slowly infiltrate and kill one by one. But again, I would be hard pressed to see Kurapika gets that close again. So it'd be hard. Would end his arc 2, then we get Hisoka's as the main character. So again, what I think of Kurapika's story, I don't know where his story goes if he's just going to keep going on this solo kill the spiders mission. Because I just don't see it happening. Especially with all the information they have. Your leader damn near could have been killed and almost died, but was nenless. You had to go through this whole thing. I would suspect him to be on high alert if there's ever rumors, images, anything about a chain user, Kurapika being around. So I don't really know what to make of Kurapika's story. It just kind of, I don't know. I really don't know what to make of Kurapika's story and the spiders, because I just really, if the spiders are supposed to be as good as they are and Chrollo is supposed to be like on a next level type shit, I just don't see how you let something like that happen again. So yeah, he knew Uvo's power and he knew all this. So unless he can work with Hisoka and they can slowly start taking him out one by one, that's the only chance I see Kurapika having if he keeps at this, I'm going to do this solo. Gon and Killua have zero interest in helping this man out. Gon has no Nen. So like what help is he going to be? And is he still going to be on a murder mission? Killua, I don't think he has any interest. Leorio does what Leorio does, so it's just a back and forth of like what really, I don't know. I don't know what he could do. I really don't know. I would have to see a different story with Kurapika to see him really get in there and do anything by himself. So he's got to have a new A team, a new ability. I don't know. I really don't see it. The rest of the escaped ants. Yeah, I did always wonder about the ants as far as they didn't kill all the ants that kind of, swam away and went to different continents. At least I didn't get those answers or see them. Did they go around and round up and kill up the final ants and kind of get rid of them? The ones that, like the crocodile, did we ever see anybody get his ass? And some of the other, it looks like a lot of them kind of after the king was dead, at least the ones we saw, they kind of like renounced their murderous ways. A lot of them kind of remember who they were or the past lives they had, which has made them kind of, I guess, a little more docile. I don't know what to. I would think they would kill those ants given the opportunity. I would think, and then I guess They said Ikalgo and some of the others are just going to be registered as magical beast from here on out, like a new discovery. So it won't be like, oh, we've got these ants walking around in plain sight. Um, I do feel one of the missed. I still think it to this day. One of the missed character opportunities was Colt. I'd have really liked to see him. I would have liked to seen Colt fleshed into the story more, and I feel like that was a writing point missed there, unfortunately. One of my, I guess, complaints. Gunfight. Yeah, and we never. Yeah, and you know what sucks? This is a good question. Jim, Jim on YouTube, he's got some good questions. Yeah, the Colt. I felt like, yeah, I'm glad to see a lot of y'all agree, because some people are like, oh, well, Colt storyline was given to Moral and other characters. That's cool, but like I feel like it was a missed opportunity with Colt. Like I wanted to see Colt like in the story, you know. He had a lot of potential. That's unfortunate. Um Hisoka and Gon. Um what's up with that? That's no more, you know? Since the very beginning we saw Hisoka, oh, I'm going to leave Gon alive. Oh shit, Gon's on his deathbed, he might die. So what is maybe it's been brought up maybe it's been brought up in the manga, but what does Hisoka think that now that like that was his like main prize pupil besides Crollo, Gon was like this fruit that he was nurturing and bringing up, and he couldn't wait, and we saw him sexually getting fresh. Like the man wanted Gon to mature, um, and now Gon is no more. So we never got that big Hisoka Gon fight that had kind of been strung along since the very, very beginning, since the first arc. Um, you know. Yeah, I do think Hisoka, his mind is all over the place. He's like, oh, you're strong? Okay, oh, but there's somebody over there stronger. Let me completely ignore this. But like Gon was like this building theme with Hisoka in the Hunter exam arc in Heaven's Arena on Greed Island. We kept seeing it be brought up and brought up. Hisoka like referring about Gon, like, oh, he's getting stronger. But you know, I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing we could say like, oh, maybe they'll cross paths in the future. Gon's it. Like, it's over. It's not. He's actually lost. He's degressed since the last time you were trying to, scope him out. Let's see what else we got here. I would have liked to have seen clearly if Gon, but would Gon ever get that potential rage to fight Hisoka? Hisoka would have to have done something, but as far as we know, Hisoka would be willing to do that. What Pito did to get Gon to that state. Now, granted, was it all Pito or was it kind of just things compounding on each other? We know Hisoka doesn't give like he was ready to kill Illumi to face Killua's rage, or to kill Killua to get Illumi's rage. Like he would have, I think Hisoka would have done something like that to trigger Gon as a potential toy to play with. Clearly, we all agree that there's nobody out there that was on the Royal Guard level, and clearly Gon had the potential, and he was above Royal Guard level. Hisoka wouldn't have been able to do a damn thing with that, I don't think. But because I don't think Gon would have ever fought in Hisoka to the death unless Hisoka did something. And if he did something, we know Gon's sociopathic rage. Like, would that just be Hisoka signing his death wish right over? Would Hisoka be flustered, scared? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Hisoka was ready to take out anybody that might trigger somebody's like emotional reaction. Yeah, Hisoka's definitely below Royal Guard level for sure, 100%. So I don't know how pissed off Hisoka could make Gon other than killing killing an Aunt Mito, maybe severely injuring Ging, You know, I'm just throwing examples. Who's to say he could ever actually touch Ging? Killing Killua, you know, something like that. Maybe he get one-shotted, and you know, it's just, you know, that's just a fight we're never gonna see, unfortunately. I always felt like they just kept getting bored of storylines and billing them in uncertain ways. At least at the start, at least Greed Island and the Ant storylines were finished, but I feel like Battle Tower and the York New Kurapika story were for. Yeah, I don't. And then yeah, one of you guys brought this up. Oh, it's right here. Oh shit, it just scrolled to the bottom. I had somebody leave this in the YouTube comments. That was said a little bit harshly. Yeah, yeah. So somebody on the Twitch chat and somebody in the YouTube comments. I feel like the author, he has a lot of ideas, a lot of good ideas, and a lot of story and plot points that are built up. And then, like you guys said, he's like Hisoka. Like, he sees something flashy over here, and he just walks over there. But there might be something flashy over here, and he completely forgets and just flashes over there. I feel like there was a lot of that in the story, and a lot of things were written and just left. And then we went over here, and we wrote, and we left it. And then we pivoted over here, we wrote, and we left. So as a viewer, it made things kind of seem like we were just kind of built up, but then we just took a left turn. But again, with the story being incomplete, who's to say we never tie off those storylines, you know? It just kind of, it's interesting to see. As far as like certain plot points and storylines, because as an anime, because where it ended, when you guys kind of got left like there in the manga, because it's hard to have this conversation because you guys have already seen more of the story. But pull back a little bit when you're reading the manga for the first time or whatever, and the manga got to the point where we left right here. I don't know if at the point of where the manga like ended or took a hiatus or took a break for the first couple times, if you guys knew that it was going to come back or how much was going to come back. But say it ended right here where it ended in the anime. As a manga reader for the first time, like, how are you supposed to know if the story is going to come back? Whatever happened, what's going to happen with the troop storyline or the Kurapika storyline or what happens over here? Why didn't we ever address this? It's easy to say that from a viewpoint of knowing already more information. I don't know who's worse, the Hunter x Hunter or the Game of Thrones writer. It's hard to say. I will say with Game of Thrones though, there's prequels and things like coming around and starting, so it's gonna like quench people's thirst for a little bit. But he says he's writing. That doesn't really mean shit. I could say I'm writing too and not publish anything for 20 years. It's a lot. Because it looks like there's nothing preventing George R.R. Martin from just putting content out. So like put the fucking content put the shit out. But then I have people say that, oh, like the Hunter x Hunter, he has health issues. Then other people are like, hey, he's not gonna die. He just has like back problems. Like, I don't know what the health issues are. I had some people like in this Twitch chat alone, and I have people message me that like his health issues aren't like life or death. Like, he just has some things that like kind of chronically cause him pain. But then I've had other people say like he could die before he finishes. So I don't know the health issues or what's going on. So it just, you know. Next with Kurapika and the Troop and the Dark Continent, but I got all of that. Maybe need to be more specific. But no, I feel like what you just said right there is exactly how people feel. You said you can't think of anything that left you without answers. But then in the same sentence, you said, I wanted to know what happens. Is that not asking for answers? I can't think of anything that left me without answers, but I wanted to know what happens. To me, that sounds like looking for answers. So, you know. He started getting back issues in the 90s. His back is probably much worse now. And, like, I'm not one that's going to say, hey, it's just back issues. Write that shit. I don't know his mental state, the pressure, how old he is, like who knows what else he has going on. But who I think is worse, probably George, because it looks like there's nothing preventing him from putting out content, um, other than just getting that shit done. So it's just kind of, it just kind of is what it is. Yeah, yeah, just saw it as a to be continued. Yeah, so yeah, if the story ended, but you guys said you didn't know it as the end, like we didn't know what was going to be the end. Yeah, it's not that simple to just write a song. I agree. No, he's got to. I feel like when you're writing for like Game of Thrones or you're writing for something like Hunter, it's not just writing a song. You just put it out there and that's it. Like every like new story or plot point you write takes another future plot point and it explodes it on a whole nother level that you didn't even maybe know that you were going to write yourself in. So it's like, do you write the ending first so that doesn't happen? Do you want a Naruto thing to happen where you make certain characters so strong that like you get to the end of the maze and you realize you don't know how to get out of the maze, so you're just going to say, all right, I'm done in this maze, let me write something so I can like finish the story? Writing a story is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I feel like though, um, if an ending is what you're desperate for, but the Hunter x Hunter has never been about the ending. Um, but I feel like as a writer though, if you're gonna pump out content, you do have a duty to continue to write and publish and put things out if that's the direction you're going. I'm not talking about like book authors and stuff like that, but like animes and things, if you're going to sit there and reap the benefits and write this and animate that and do this, if you don't want to continue, then leave the story in a way that the story ends. If it's too much pressure or you don't think it's something you want to continue doing, then write it in a way to just end it, and you can just continue from there. But like, right, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I'm not talking about when they stopped the anime. I'm talking about when they stopped the manga. When the manga has taken these long breaks, you guys, as manga readers yourself, have said you don't even know if and when the next chapter is going to be come out or if the story will ever be on a consistent basis or ever finish. Maybe by the time your grandkids are born, we have no idea. But as the manga keeps going on like random hiatuses, if it never came back, if the manga never continued, how would you feel if it never came back? And the story's not over, so it's an incomplete story. I feel like talking about Hunter x Hunter, same thing of like talking about Game of Thrones. The story is incomplete. So to say that this wasn't answered, correct, it was not answered. And if the story ended, it might not ever be answered. But since the story is never completed, we don't know. It's just yeah, I feel like a lot of people will be left like with like WTF faces. Why would you do that? None of this was answered. But I have a saying, if we were going to put money on it, I'd say as a betting public, if we all pooled our money together, um, there's no reason you wouldn't lean towards the side of, hey, the story might not ever finish, just with the trend you're seeing. You guys as manga readers can let me know, has this manga been trending in consistency up or trending in consistency down? Because if it's trending in consistency down, there's been nothing recently in the last couple of years to show you that all of a sudden you're going to start getting weekly, monthly, yearly content. So if we take that information, we have to sit here as a group and say, hey, the story that we have, this shit might be it. it just like might be it. And if it ended and it was incomplete, who knows kind of like where you'll be left wondering and wanting. It's just kind of like is what it is. So we need to see Kurapika's story end, the current arc, and then we want to see what happens. That's asking a lot though, because like who knows the plans for certain characters when the Dark Continent stuff happened, and that's what I'm saying. Like when you're a writer with Kurapika's storyline or the Dark Continent, who knows what he might write that sets off a Pandora's box with more characters in a different direction. And then who knows where those directions take the story in a different way. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he has the ending already writ and he's writing from the top down and filling it in as he goes. Are we on some like Star Wars shit where like the ending comes out first? So that way you hopefully you don't ass pull your way out when you get to the end. Um yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. There's so much potential in storylines. But if he came out and puts out one more chapter and he's like, guys, that's it. He puts out like two more chapters, like quickly writes that shit up and just dips out. You just have to take it for what it is. Yeah. Yeah, with Star Wars, and just because you write from the top down doesn't mean you still don't have ass pulls. So it's a lot. Let me see if I can find any more questions here, and then we can answer some of the questions that you guys gave me. I'm trying to see if there's any more questions in the YouTube comments. Just a lot of things reverting to Gon and Killua. That's the Chimerian arc, but there was a small passage in the manga in which the names of both Gon and Killua Takashi Gon will be. Gyro, are you reading the manga? When I first read the election, yada yada yada. No questions, no questions. Just making sure I'm not missing anybody's YouTube questions because I know I said leave your questions. Next arc, and I believe the wand is a soul transfer. Somebody's top 5 characters. I don't know if this is accurate or not, but they said the koala bear, Gyro, Razor, and Welfrin. Don't know if that's troll or not. It could be. Hey, you know, thinking about Iluka healing Gone, Miriam, Kite's abilities. Da 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 da. I'm not seeing any questions, so I don't want to miss anybody's questions. I'm gonna feel real bad if I do. Too long, didn't read. It's just a lot about Kite. Okay, let me check back in the Twitch chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. If he announced tomorrow that Hunter x Hunter's over, then I'd kick to go. That's what I'm saying. Who knows? He could come out tomorrow. He could literally release a statement in the next hour, letting know his fans he can't continue. He's physically and mentally just can't keep up with it. He apologizes. Maybe he'll release a final chapter that's going to be like canon but non-canon, just to, you know, be a final send-off and be like, I'm sorry guys, that's it. And if the story ended there, which I think as a viewer, it's more likely that happens than the story actually finishing, because you guys let me know the consistency with the manga is trending in the wrong direction. It's trending in the wrong direction. So I'd feel like it's more likely that he announces the story's over sometime in the next 10 years than him getting on a consistent basis and us in the chat not being 70 years old by the time the story's finished. So that's why I would, and it's hard because people said this about George R. Martin too. Like, if you have a vision in your head, but it's hard though. I could understand it as a writer if you're a creator, even something in chat. If you're creating something or doing a project and you let somebody know what you have for the final image, and you let people know kind of how you want certain characters' stories to go, and you give them a blueprint and you say fill out the blank spaces, and just so that, like, you know, you can have a consistent basis and stuff. if he could just like give somebody a map and say, this is how I picture the story ending, and let them fill in the rest. That's hard because you don't want to see your work kind of, and that's another thing, like Pancake said, there doesn't seem to be a need for money or fame or pressure on them to finish, because if it was any other writer, if this is your first time writing an anime or this is your first big break as a manga writer, you're going to get that shit out, good or bad. You got to finish it because you want to maybe take this and catapult you to another anime, another manga, make money, set you up for life and keep going. But we already know that they have what they need. So for him to write a chapter, not show any signs of life for 5 years, come back, write a chapter, it's nothing to him if the story doesn't finish, like, in life, in the grand scheme of things. Let's see. It's getting better, actually. We got 20 chapters last year. Oh, because I have people telling me it's trending in the wrong direction. The longest hiatus was 3 years. So imagine going 3 years between chapters. Oof. Where he finishes it first or literally dies first. It's really hard because I don't think anyone can write. That's what Togashi did with Yu Yu, and he had regrets by the end. He wanted to do Hunter x Hunter this way on his own. But I mean, yeah, but if it's going to be that way, if he doesn't want to pass that off, just the criticism is going to come with it. You're going to have fans that are saying he's taking too long, or who knows if we'll get the story before it's too late. Like, it just comes with the territory. Okay, so let's get to some of y'all's questions here because I know how long have we been streaming for? Almost 2 hours. Let's see. So, the best villains? I mean, you have to say, I'm trying to actually think of, like, if we really look at it, how many villains were there actually in the story? The only one that really pops in my head is Crollo. You had the guy, I forget the bomber's name, but we had him. But Miriam ended up pivoting to a point that, like, he wasn't the villains, it was the royal guards that were the villains. So I would say, Crollo and then Poof in that order? Bombers in Greed Island. I guess it just kind of, it kind of, you have to ask yourself, what do you think is a villain? What did Hisoka really do that what did Hisoka really do that made him like a villain? Does villain count as killing somebody? Does it count as, what are we counting villain? Because Miriam, he was so not involved in what was going on a ground level. It's hard to, in the bomber, it's hard to like really, I'm gonna be honest with you, Greed Island was my least favorite arc of the entire story. So the bomber, to me, sure, he's a villain, but like, yeah, Hisoka did kill that guy, but that also ended up helping our main character. I think of a villain as something that impedes or goes against the main character. The main character being, Killua and Gon. What did Hisoka really do that made him a villain, other than being this piece that liked to fight and wanted Gon to become strong? We knew he was the first like antagonist of the story because he was this strong, mysterious. Like, we didn't know. We saw him kind of killing people. You know. Yeah, Genthuru was. Yeah, it's more of like who was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really count Hisoka as a villain. So if I was gonna rate it, I'd say Crollo. Crollo, Pito, and then just for the ending there, I'd put Illumi there in the end, just kind of for the end story point. And like, yeah, like Omar said, when you really step back, there's not really that many villains in Hunter x Hunter story. So it's like that's why I think the list is so short. I mean, if we're just gonna say like Crollo, um, and Poof, and I mean, if you want to like put Illumi as an honorable mention, sure, but yeah, honestly, if you really, I don't think there's that many villains in Hunter x Hunter when you kind of look at it as like on a broader scale. But yeah, I'd probably go with um, Crollo, Poof, and then I'd put a Lumi in there for how he was kind of sprinkled in throughout and kind of what Killua had to go through, and then with at the end, um, but again, I don't consider what Miriam did villain just because he killed those kids and ate their brains. It sounds bad saying it, but to them and the ants, like that's food. That's no different than like you and me going out killing cows, chopping them up and making them into hamburgers, or you and me going to get chickens and making chicken nuggets. Um, so mm, mm, that was like food to them. So it's I don't know. If Miriam and them had gone out and strung people up and like tortured them and like slowly stabbed them and then chopped off an arm and ate it and like did those kinds of things, yeah, that then we're talking like villain level. Like he was out there making people suffer and do all this, and he was just out there chopping people's heads off, one quick strike. um mm. So to him, it's I don't know, it's difficult. Miriam, and I think Miriam is written that way on purpose to make you the same with Gone. Gone was written in a certain way that's like, well, how do you feel about it? Same way with Miriam. So we got that. Yeah, I have all the ranking questions. So you guys asking about like rankings and where do I have all those questions written down from the people in the chat. So we're just gonna tick them off. I'm gonna rank the ranking is gonna be the last one we'll talk about. Yeah. So the definition of a villain, I don't. I feel like somebody going against the main character or doing something that's kind of threatening the masses or people have to come together to beat, which you could say Miriam was, but at a point like Miriam set things into motion, but then he mentally kind of checked out. If it wasn't for the royal guards kind of trying to implement the plan and see it through, once Miriam and Kamugi kind of went through their connection, everything kind of would have fallen apart if the royal guards weren't still like kind of making sure everything filled in the way. Um, some of the best and some of the best antagonists, some of the best like opposite good guys in the story. Um, Probably my favorite. Shit. I think I would go Crollo 1, Miriam 2. Even though I enjoyed Poof's character, but like, was he like? I don't know. Crollo, Miriam, Crollo, Miriam, Illumi, Poof, and then probably Hisoka at the bottom. Probably Hisoka at the bottom. Yeah, and that's what the writing was good to a point that most of the characters were written to have like good humanized characteristics. So a lot of people bring that up when I talk about like Miriam, like, oh, he killed those kids and ate them. But to him, being just born, that was food for him. So that's no different than you and me walking out in a field and like getting our food. So I can't hang that against him because if we were, if us as the story we're watching that is, if we were ants, like we're ants watching this story, that to us, flip it around, Gon is the king, and Killua, Leorio, and Kurapika are the royal guards. They walk out into a field and they just kill these baby chimera ants and start eating their brains. We'd be like, whoa, what the hell? But I feel like if you flip it around, it's really not, you know. 3 fights. Miriam did the things because it was his duty. Has more than villains. Okay, so we got that. Let's keep going with this. The categories is going to be hard because I feel like they all naturally oppose each other because that's what makes the, power dynamic so good. I feel like it's easy to just say like, okay, specialist is the best depending on what the specialist ability is. I want to I wanted to say manipulator was the weakest until we kind of got an explanation on what Illumi was able to do. So then it kind of made me step back. We've seen what conjurers can do. We've seen what enhancers can do on a crazy level. Did we get what Netero was? Was he an enhancer, but he was like really dipping into? That was kind of the biggest debate I think we ever had in the comment section on what is Netero slash like what is it that is he emitting those hands? Is he conjuring them? Is he manipulating? Is the statue conjured, or is that just a statue he sees that he's like emitting? Netero is an enhancer, okay, but then how deep is he really dipping into the other towards a mission? Gon is also Gon was also leaning towards a mission. Netero is enhancer. He was born enhancer. But like the statue is conjured. Is he conjuring that statue? I don't know. I don't know. All I know is he was just doing some shit. He was doing some shit. I don't know if he was an enhancer that conjured that statue, but then was emitting it. I don't know. I don't know. Really, really don't know. He manipulated and conjured. It's a lot. The category one's gonna be hard. I need to pull it up here, just so I don't forget anything. I'm not going to rank it strongest to weakest because there could be an argument made for, okay, well, if you think this is the strongest, well, something down here could beat that. I'm not gonna get into that. Yeah, I'm just going to go with maybe my favorite specialization. I feel like you can't specialists. You kind of got to leave them off because we could sit here and fantasize about any specialist ability just because it doesn't fall into the other one. So I'm just gonna go with 5 categories because I feel like and again, the Nen categories is exactly like Pokemon battles. There's going to be a strong type against another type, but then that type's going to be strong against this type, which that type is weak against. And we could just go back and forth all day. Transmutation is a tricky one too. I'm trying to remember who was a Silva and Zeno were both transmuters, along with Killua, but Illumi's the only manipulator. But no, we saw Kiluto, who was also manipulated with those paper. But then, oh yeah, shit just gets confusing. Conjuring, I'm gonna say probably. I like Transmutation the best. I think I would rank like my favorites. I'd probably go Transmutation, enhancement. I'd go transmuter, enhancer, emitter, ooh, emitter, conjurer, and then manipulator would be last of my favorites. I'm not ranking those in strengths because they all counteract each other. Yeah, yeah. You can use any type of NAND. The percent chart is a measure branch. The thing is, like, Illumi's one of my favorite characters, but I'm just trying to think of, like, my favorite abilities to see, you know? It's cool seeing Illumi control all these people. It's like, oh shit, but, like, was it my favorite thing I saw? No. Illumi's character was, but the manipulating things were cool. It was cool seeing, like, oh shit, that person's being manipulated. Like when Shalnak had the guy at the auction, you know, speaking word for word, or when Illumi was controlling the 10 Dawns. Like, it was cool to see, but was it my favorite ability? Probably not. Portals, yeah. What did we say that Nove was? That's something I need to look up, because now I can look up Nove stuff. Nove was conjuring the portals. I think some of my favorite abilities was the portals. I didn't think I was going to be a fan of the smoke, but seeing the MVP that Moral was can we all agree that Moral was maybe the most crucial character in the whole Ant infiltration saga? Is that a bold statement? I don't know. But seeing what he did with the smoke was great. Yeah, Pito was somehow manipulating herself, but didn't she? Yeah, Pito was manipulating, but also conjuring her Dr. Blythe as well. So it was. Okay, as long as we can all agree. Okay, I didn't know if that was a blasphemous statement to say. I didn't want to tick anybody off, but Moral was definitely the MVP of that entire arc. Okay, cool. Yeah, Gorilla Guy from the Greed Island arc, that shit is so clean. I still love that to this day. Yeah, Moral is in my top 5 characters. Moral is in my top 5. I wish there would have been more of Nove, because as far as abilities go, Nove was probably one of my top 5 favorite abilities that I saw. Um, so, yeah, I think in that, I would go Transmutation, Enhancement, Conjuring, then Emitting, then Manipulator, and Specialist is just too broad to get into that I don't want to. Yeah, Meliorion, I don't know how you pronounce his name. He was really in there too. That's also a good point. Nove's ability was probably too broken to have that man in there just slipping in and out. That's why I felt cheated with that, because that's one of my favorite abilities. I've told you guys this all the time. I've been saying this forever. One of my favorite abilities in any animes is people slipping in and out. Your Obitos, your Mirios, your Noves, having your own kind of pocket dimensions. Even people like Minato, being able to just instantly switch to something, slip through, in and out. I'm here, I'm there. You slip through me, I slip through. That's always been some of my favorite abilities. When they showed Moral going in and out, when they showed him running by people, slicing their head into another dimension and without even making a sound, I would have loved to have seen him out there. And then the thing is, like, couldn't he have done if somehow Nove could have snuck up on any of the royal guards or Miriam, could he have just taken a head off and it would have been done? I know that it's a lot difficult than that, but let's break it down. If Nove was able to get within range and strike, couldn't he have just taken anybody's head off he wanted to? Yeah, again, yeah, exactly what Benjamin said. I feel like Nove had to be removed from the story. Yeah, Miriam, Pito, Poof, it doesn't matter. Now I agree though. There would be no, like, when we really think about it, of course, yes. There's probably a 0% chance Nove would ever get close enough or be fast enough to touch any of the guards. But if he had the chameleon with him, the same way the chameleon and them were able to sneak up on, oh god, why am I forgetting? On Yuppie, could the chameleon and Nove walked right up on Yuppie, taking that man's head off like nothing happened? I don't know. That's what I'm saying right there. What Tyler said. That's insta-kill. I don't know. Again, that's a Pandora's box that like again, I'm not going to sit here and argue. Of course, Nove was never going to be able to speed blitz any of the guards or Miriam, get close enough without getting his head taken off. We know that. I'm not arguing that. But we did see the physical fast minus Miriam. I mean, Yuppie was supposed to be the physically strongest. He got snuck up on. Again, maybe because he's slow mentally, or again, because the chameleon's ability is that OP. And that was their plan all along, was to get hands, get Knuckle to touch the king or somebody like that, or any of the guards, to gain that APR, to, remove one of the guards. If they could have gotten that close with Knuckle, take Knuckle out and make that Nove, that's all I gotta say about that. Yeah, and that's unfortunate because like Nove was one of my favorite ability. His ability made him one of my favorite characters, and I loved what they did with his character in that one scene about him mentally breaking down. Like, how are these kids so strong? They've been up close in front of these ants, and I only felt their aura, and I couldn't take it. No, I'm not strong enough. I can't do it. That was a great scene, but it's real unfortunate that he got completely removed from the story. I do hate that. But then it's like his ability was so broken. It's like if you leave him in the story, do you kill him off in a bullshit way to not make his power seem OP? Or do you let him do some OP shit? I don't know. Yeah, that was one of the best scenes. So, but that was unfortunate that he wasn't there. So we got that. Yeah, that was one of my best abilities in the show. Top 5 matchups we never got. Crollo and Hisoka. I'm just saying for anime. I know you guys got it in the manga. I'm just gonna put these out there. Crollo, and Hisoka. That's one. Gon versus Killua, I would have liked to have seen. We know that Poof did say, even if Poof was his full self, he said Killua's speed would have been a problem. So then you got the back and forth cat and mouse game. Who runs out first? You got to take them at their peaks. So I'm guessing Gon would probably smack Killua. It's just kind of, I don't want to make matchups that might seem like they might get one-shotted. Killua won't hit hard enough to do anything to Gon in his 30-year-old body. But would Gon be able to catch him? But the thing is, like, who runs out first? Killua's speed would probably run out first. I don't know. That's one that's like an iffy fight to have. I'm trying to have fights that are probably more on like an even basis. That's why I don't want to say Gon versus Miriam. Yeah, at the same age, have Gon non Super Saiyan Rage. I think Killua would smack. It wouldn't even be close. I don't want to say Gon v Miriam because again, at their peak, you got to take them at the peak we saw. I think Miriam would have one-shotted Gon after he consumed the other two guards. Can we agree on that, or is that a blasphemous statement? Yeah, I think Gon at his peak, his rage. So I'm gonna take that fight out because again, I don't think that's, and the same way I'm not putting. Okay, good. As long as we agree, yeah, I'm talking I'm talking at their peaks, at the peaks that we saw them. So at post Rose Bomb Miriam, after he, took in everything, and Super Saiyan Raged, grown ass man gone, I think Miriam would do this almost the same exact thing that Gon did to Pito. Maybe not take his head off in one shot, but it'd be pretty damn close. So so I'm not gonna include that. I'm trying to think fights that like might actually have a chance. Yeah, the Kite versus Pito, but again, they made it. Pito did say that like Kite was like a good fight, and she's like, "Oh man, I am kind of strong," but she didn't know her abilities. So again, I'm not gonna put anything with Royal Guards. Just seems like off limits because anybody that we put in is gonna be, just not the wave. Yeah, but Crollo Hisoka Illumi would be good. Um, those two. I would have liked to have seen. I'm trying to think of ability matchups here. Hmm. 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 Got those two. I'm trying to think of characters we've seen throughout. I don't know kind of where people top out at. I would have liked to have seen. I don't know their strength levels, but Hisoka was talking that shit. I'd like to see Hisoka versus Netero. Even old man Netero. That'd be good. Crollo and Silva is good, but I feel like we kind of saw it, but we didn't see it. I want to say I want to see exactly. I was just about to bring up what Benjamin said. Either Silva or Zeno versus any of the Royal Guards. I feel like that's more of kind of an accurate statement to say. I wanted to say some of the Phantom Troop members, but again, I don't think the Phantom Troop and the Guards are close enough. Now, Silva and Zeno versus a Yuppie or a Poof or a Pito, that I would have liked to have seen. So I would have liked to have seen that. But I'm just trying to think of off the top of my head. I would have liked to have seen Crollo Hisoka, Hisoka Illumi. Yes, the Prime Netero versus Prime Zeno's grandfather, for sure. Zeno versus any of the three Royal Guards. Zeno or Silva versus any of the three Royal Guards. Switch those out for sure. And Kurapika versus Crollo / any of the other members of the Phantom Troop. Yeah, Miriam before he was born versus Hisoka would be good. So I think those two, those five, Crollo, Hisoka, Illumi, Hisoka, any of the father or grandfather versus any of the three Royal Guards, Prime Netero versus Prime Zeno's grandfather, and Kurapika versus preferably Crollo / any of the other spiders, just to see how that matchup would have gone now that Uvo's off the table, how everybody else category-wise would have matched up. So that'll be kind of interesting to see there. We'll cross that out. Best character designs. Whose designs did I like the best? I'll try to just give 5 because we could sit here and go through all of them. Bisky versus Uvo. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that, but I feel like we saw Bisky, but we never saw Bisky really pushed. We kind of saw the things Uvo did with stopping tanks and taking bullets, and it makes me think that Uvo might have been too much for Bisky, but maybe I'm underestimating Bisky, I'm not sure. I did want to say Bisky versus like some of the lower level ants, but I didn't know where she kind of ranks. Character designs, Kite for sure. Kite's got a great character design. The hair looks great. I like not Hisoka, Crollo with the jacket, the upside down cross. Yeah, Illumi, Crollo, they're kind of it's unfair to have them in character designs because it's just easy to put them in there. So I'll remove them from the fine. But yeah, Crollo and Illumi are in my character designs. Phaeton has a great character design. We're saying Bisky is stronger than Hisoka and Crollo. That seems like a ballsy statement. Maybe though. Y'all know more than me. Machi. Machi is. I feel like I never see this, but Machi's character design is very underrated. She's on my list. Top 5 character design. I'm removing Crollo and Illumi. That's unfair. We know it. Take them off the list. Crollo and Illumi, they're in I think they're in a majority of people's top 5. Machi is definitely on the list. Sphinx with his headpiece on, with it on, is on the list. Those two. Who else do we have here? Let me see. I need to just, because I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna forget here if I don't pull them up. All right, Hunter x Hunter characters. Shizuku, yeah, hers is pretty straightforward as far as anything too crazy. All right, here's a good list right here. When Killua is in his like Gohan form, it's pretty great. Netero in his game day outfit is good as well. I got a good image here. Phaeton as well. Yeah, Phaeton's a good one. He is good. Pito, I feel like Pito is a very good character design. I like hers as well. Netero in his game day attire. Kite. Netero, Kite, Killua when he's in his Super Saiyan, Pito, Machi. I feel like Machi's character design is very, very underrated. Pearson, Ging. I do like. I don't. Pearson's was too. We never get to see Pearson kind of outside the suits or in action, but I did like Nove running around doing stuff in his suits when he was in action. Which character? Since we all agree that like Illumi and Crollo are kind of up there in character designs, Canary, yeah, hers was underrated. I liked her. I liked Canary's whole look. I thought it looked great. Which Crollo look do you guys prefer? Crollo in the suit with the headband, or Crollo in the fur jacket with the cross exposed on his head? Because Crollo in the suit with the headband is pretty up there, but Crollo in the jacket is pretty great too. I don't know which one I like better, to tell you the truth. Both? Yeah, it's tough. And I'm sure, yeah, if he has new character designs now, I'm sure they look great. Knuckle has a good character design too. I like Nobunaga's character when his hair is down. I think that one looks good too. Machi, like we've said. And I think that's kind of a majority of the character designs. Kuratopi has a nice character design. I like how you can't like see her face at all. Yeah, those are some good. I like the jacket more, but the suit and headband is good too. They went girl in the manga. Yeah, I could definitely see him being a character that like constantly has his kind of look changed. Top 5 Nen powers was another question. Oh, I don't know where to rank them because, and then see, this is again here. This is kind of where we get. We don't get to see I mean, let's just call it for what it is. We did not get a lot of fights in Hunter x Hunter. Some people say it was just enough. Some people say it wasn't enough. Some people say we got more than needed. But there was a lack of different people's abilities shown going up against people with different abilities. So to have the top 5 powers, I'm just going to say on the abilities as they're shown, not how they would be put in matchups against other people. So just seeing abilities for what they were, not how they're going to match up, because again, we didn't get lots of matchups. So to sit here and say this is the best ability, will be the best in any situation, it's hard to say that because we didn't really get to see a lot of it. But Noves is at the top. I don't know if it's number 1, but it's one in my top 5. I'm not ranking these top 5. These are just the 5 that I enjoyed. Nove, and it grew on me, but I don't think we got enough. But again, it's people dependent. It depends on your taste. Are you more story? Are you more fight? Do you like a little bit of both mixed in? It depends. People are going to have differing views. Yeah. Nove, and then it grew on me seeing Moral's application of just the wild things and everything he was able to do. Moral's smoke is in my top 5. Those two, I mean, you have to, I don't know how you don't go with Netero's statue, palm smacking 100 Buddha fist. How you don't have that in there, I don't know. So those 3, yeah, I'd recommend Hunter x Hunter to somebody, but it would also depend. I'd have that kind of. It would depend. Like, are they a first-time anime watcher? Like, are there things they like? I guess it would depend person to person, but I wouldn't turn to someone and say, "Hey, don't watch Hunter x Hunter." You guys have friends out there, and I'm sure there's reactors you watch and people out there that are. If it doesn't have Dragon Ball level fighting every single fluffin' episode, they're not going to watch it, / they're going to be bored, they can't keep up, it's too much dialogue. So you recommend something like Hunter x Hunter, they might completely hate it. You might have people out there that they need less fighting and more storytelling of even what Hunter x Hunter gave them. So you recommend them like a Dragon Ball thing, it's not going to be for them. But there's no reason I would say, hey, don't watch Hunter x Hunter. I feel like you should watch it. Be a flaw in his ability, though. Yeah, I would say Nove, Moral, Netero's like ultimate, finisher. I'm trying to think back to all the abilities we've seen. There's a lot in there. I had the picture pulled up here. I wish we could have seen what Wing's abilities were. I don't know if they were any good. Knuckles' APR isn't bad. It's just when you get into explaining it. I'm trying to see everybody's abilities here. Yada, yada, yada. Franklin with his bullets. Machi with her healing. Shizuku with the vacuum. We never get to see really what Canary could do. We didn't get to see what any of the butlers could do, minus Goto and Subone. Ito, Poof. Poof's cloning and being able to break himself down was pretty good. I guess you kind of have to put Hisoka in there, huh? And I mean, I don't know how you just don't go with Chrollo because you could get access to a lot of things. So I feel like those are kind of easy picks. Zeno's dragon, rain, fire thing was a pretty great ability as well. The teleportation, I don't even know my man's name that has the gorillas that he can switch places with at any point in time, and they can like fight on their own. I thought that should be an honorable mention from the Greed Island arc. Yeah, the bomber had a good ability too. I didn't mind the bomber's ability as well. That was a good one. I'm trying to think. I have the whole character. I pretty much have all the characters. Oh, our guy from the village with the grapefruit size holes in his body, which again doesn't make sense how he's alive, but I thought his abilities were great. Summoning the flippin' sun and Jupiter and doing all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Knuckles got a great ability. Crollo, Hisoka, both Zeno and Silva, Moral, Nove, Killua when he's in his god speed. And I guess that's about it for the majority of the power systems. But yeah, there's a lot to be mentioned there. What is our guy's name? Do we have a name for the guy that summons the gorillas that transfers places? I know he's not Razor. What's our guy's name? Someone have to get that back to me. Okay, so arc rankings. Okay, I'm gonna look that up just so I have that down because I really like his ability a lot. Okay, so arc rankings. I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I knew this question was gonna come up. But we have. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget any. We have Heavens as well, and we have the political at the end. Am I missing anything? Oh, the exam. So you guys let me know if I'm missing any arcs. The exam, Heaven's Arena, York New City, Greed Island, Chimera Ant, and then the political. It's just 6 total. 6 total arcs. Do I have that correct? Greed, Hunter, Heavens, Election, York. Okay, 6. Okay, cool. I think I don't know if this is agreed with the masses, but can we all agree that Greed Island is the least favorite? I don't know if I want to say all. Some people that might be your favorite, you know. Oh, the Zoldyck family. Are we counting that as an arc? The little kind of rescue mission of getting him out and going to Heaven's Arena. Are we counting that as an arc? Exam. Wow, people. Yeah, maybe people like Greed Island. Who am I to say Greed Island? But I think what I see mostly is Greed Island is the least popular. Doesn't mean it's not your favorite, but yeah, I'm gonna put the exam in the Killua rescue arc. I'm gonna put that as one arc. Yeah, I feel like Greed Island just really dragged, and I feel like they just really they introduced all these abilities with the cards and stuff, but like you really didn't need to pay attention because like the cards once we left this arc, none of that had anything to do. It was I don't know. So if I'm gonna rank them out of those 6, I'm probably gonna go York New City number 1. York New City number 1. Ant arc, the Chimera Ant arc number 2. And then here's a tough one between Heaven's Arena and the Election arc. Oh man. It's kind of hard because Heaven's Arena was such in the beginning of everybody's character development that like everything that happened in the election arc, I mean, damn it, Gon finally met Ging, Killua had resolution with his family. Like I feel like that arc is biased, but I'd probably put that third. I feel like I feel like whoever ranked those, Matthew probably had it right. I think I go Yorkanu, Ant, Election, Heaven's Arena, the exam, and then Greed Island in that order. Here's the thing though, I didn't dislike the Hunter exam. But it's just kind of like in most animes, as characters get stronger and abilities and new stories and plot points are introduced, it's hard to rank the very, very first time we saw them and their abilities and characters, like before we got to deep dive into people's like emotions and thoughts. Because I liked the Hunter arc, but characters were so brand new, we didn't know what we knew, and it's hard to, yeah. Yeah, there wasn't anything I completely hated, but there were parts in the Greed Island where like I just couldn't wait to get that done. The Hunter arc, it had its lulls too, but you kind of have to give the first arc in most animes a break because they're introducing things, they're showing you characters and their kind of their personalities, and you have to get through it and then see how that kind of plays out. York new ant exam election. Yeah. I really enjoyed the election arc. Not so much because I don't, not so much the election part, but whether we thought what Iluka was to the story was necessary or not. Diving back into the Zoldyck family stuff was really good. The dodgeball match was pretty intense. Yeah, and Greed Island was just in a, yeah, it was an awkward. I don't know. It was a lot. So yeah, that's my final ranking. York new ant exam. No, not exam. Not exam. York new ant election arena exam Greed Island. Got those. Okay, so there's pretty much two more questions left. Some of my top characters, and then how I give the final anime its ranking. Some of my favorite characters. I mean, Killua. To me, if you asked me, I'd say Killua is the main character of the story. Yeah, I put York. Even though I disliked Kurapika at that time, again, to me, it didn't feel like a Kurapika storyline because there was so much else going involved. The Phantom Troop had been built up for 20-something episodes. We had Gon and Killua getting mixed in as well. We had Hisoka kind of backstabbing in the back. Illumi was brought into the story as well. We had kind of everything going on that, like, even though that was probably one of the worst parts in the anime for me, it was still kind of, I think, my favorite arc. I don't know if I feel like, yeah, if you asked me, Killua probably ends up my favorite. I don't know if that's just cliche to say or that's the easy way out, or of course you're going to say Killua was your favorite. I feel like it was written that way. What do you want me to do? I feel like Killua was written to be most people's favorite. Um, he had the most growth, the most development, the most positive development, and the most positive growth. Um, he impacted others around him, saved lives. I feel like he was the best character in the entire show. Yeah, he's best boy, he's best character. Um, so yeah, I feel like Kilo is easy. Just put it up there for sure. Um, Moral ended up being one of my favorite characters. I don't know if he's my second favorite. I know Killua is probably my top one for sure. I'll look through other characters here because I have an entire list here of kind of all the characters. I don't know if you guys can focus in, but I've got a majority of the characters kind of on that list right there. Killua is probably number one. I'm not going to give you like a number two, three, four, kind of all that because I don't want to get into debate on why is he two, why is he three. I'm just going to give you like 10. So Killua, one. Moral is in there just for what we explained. He's the MVP of the entire Ant arc, in my opinion. I think he had the most fleshed out Nen ability in the entire story. I'm just sitting there thinking about it. The applications and everything he was able to do, we got internal dialogue, him really breaking down like how he got in and out of things. Um, so yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I'd put Miriam and Komogi kind of as one. Those two together, I'd count as one. They're in my top 10 as well. I mean, for obvious reasons, we don't really need to say anything else about that. Netero, he's in my top 10 for sure. Got that going. What else do we have here? Um, Chrollo and Illumi. Chrollo and Illumi are in my top 10. All these other forgettable characters around here. Yada, yada, yada. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anybody. Zushi. Oh, man. I wonder what Zushi's up to these days. Hopefully he's gotten stronger. Some of the characters. I liked Kite. Kite's in my top 10 for sure, too. Even though we didn't get much of Kite, I liked Kite a lot. I was actually a very big Uvo fan just because the way they introduced that man was wild. Let's see what else we got going here. So that's about 7 characters we just listed off. Hisoka, I just feel like I got to put Hisoka in there. His character, it was just whatever, you know. I enjoyed his character for what it was. But is he like my best boy or favorite ability? No, but I feel like I get peer pressured into saying Hisoka, so I'm just gonna say Hisoka. Yeah, maybe Zushi is the main villain in the Dark Continent. I have no idea. Uvo, yeah, Uvo's in my top for sure. So that leaves about 2 more. Who are 2 more characters I would like not to do without? So we had Killua, we had Moral, we had Illumi, we had Chrollo, we had Hisoka, we had Uvo, we had the pairing of Komogi and Miriam. Did I say Nove? I wanted to put Nove in there if I hadn't. Oh, we had Netero. So I think I have like 8 or 9, so I'm trying to think right now about any of the Royal Guards. I got about 2 or 3 spaces left of characters that like I would not want to do without. Like, who are characters I wouldn't want to remove from the story? I did enjoy Silva and Zeno, but I don't think I'm going to put them in there just because we didn't get much of them. I said Kite. Yeah, Kite is in there. Uvo, Chrollo, Nove, Moral, Killua. Let's see. Machi's cool, but, I mean, Goto. I think I would probably put Pito in there for sure. Pito has to be in there. And Wing Sun being one of them, you know. Yeah, Wing, I feel like Wing just has to be in that list. I feel like there's always a soft spot for like the main character's first big teacher. So Wing is an honorable mention. But I think that'll probably round out the list. I think that probably rounds out the list. If we have Killua, Moral, Nove, the pairing of the 2 of Miriam and Komogi. We got Killua, Moral, Nove, the pairing, Illumi, Chrollo, Kite, Uvo, and Netero. Kind of round out the top 10, but you could also put in the top 10, put Pito in there. We got honorable mentions of Wing Sun, honorable mentions of Zeno and Silva. Yeah, Wing wasn't fleshed out enough, and that's what a lot of these characters kind of weren't fleshed out enough to like say, oh, that's my favorite, you know. Pariston was cool, but I feel like I would have needed more of Pariston. But Pito is definitely the best girl in the entire story. Palm gets an honorable mention as well, but Pito's best girl, Killua's best boy. Fill in the rest kind of as you want to go. Put in your Chrollos, your Illumis, your Moral, your Noves, all that kind of stuff. Who was the most annoying character? Ooh. Cheeto was definitely up there. I want to say Poof was the most annoying character, but not in a bad way. Poof was. Honorable mentions, definitely put Poof in there. Put Wing Sun. Wolf, yeah, Welfrin. Yeah, Welfrin was one of the more annoying characters. Oh, we have to have an honorable mention of fucking Ikalgo. Ikalgo has to be in there. Don't call my man an octopus and don't ever cheat that man his due. I can't say about the koala because I got a 10-minute epilogue from him in the second to last episode, and I got maybe 30 seconds of him in another episode. So like, you want to talk about not being fleshed out? I didn't get anything from him. But yeah, Ikalgo, don't ever disrespect my man Ikalgo in your life. And I think that kind of wraps that up. Yeah, the spider that had the spider that was balding. What you're like, I don't know why he's balding, but yeah, that was an annoying character. Um, trying to look at this list here. Was there anybody that just really like pissed me off? That was just so annoying. Uh, not really. That just really like just got under my skin. Maluki, he kind of he would just get on my nerves for no reason. Um, I think I want to say that's about it. I probably would say Ging is the worst dad because at least Goku would like be there. Neon's cool. She gets honorable mention. True, the scissor guy was. There's a lot of cool like honorable mentions just based off ability alone. Pito got under your skin. I enjoyed Pito, but Poof got under your skin. But I feel like Poof got under my skin, like, and it was good. Like, it was cool. Razor. So then it comes down to the final question of the day, and that's ranking Hunter x Hunter now that we've finished on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the best thing since sliced bread. 1 being would not watch again, would not ever recommend it. I was thinking about this a lot the last couple days because I knew I was going to have to kind of answer this and kind of Mm, that's gonna be an interesting question. I'm not sure. Let's see. Hunter x Hunter manga is at chapter 390. That's a long way. Yeah, that's another thing though. Yeah, I feel like it's hard to compare that because yeah, Naruto probably is. What is Naruto? Triple the amount of content, so I feel like the pacing would be naturally slower. But let's see here. 10 being the best thing. I'm trying to think, was there ever a point I was watching Hunter x Hunter and I was like, man, I do not want to watch this shit. I always compare it to Boruto. Like Boruto, you guys notice we just stopped watching altogether. Um, I'm trying to think where I want to put it, but yeah, I definitely have. Again, both stories are incomplete. They are incomplete stories. I think Hunter x Hunter is better than My Hero. I think we can agree on that. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter over My Hero for sure. I don't. My Hero's got some funky shit going on right now. I need to see. I had high hopes for My Hero, but it's kind of. We'll kind of see. But again, the story's incomplete. I got to kind of see how it finishes. They're kind of just like recycling the same. Um, My Hero just has the same kind of recipe going since the very beginning. Like, there's an overarching theme, which is Deku and Shigaraki. Like, those two are parallels, are going to follow each other to the very end until either Deku kills Shigaraki, which he probably won't, or locks him up, which he probably won't. I don't know if they'll if they'll agree with one another, or maybe he'll see that all heroes aren't good, all heroes aren't bad, and they just, I don't know. However that's going to end, but it's the same. It's like villain, defeat, nobody dies, kids get a power up. Next season, new villain, defeat, nobody dies, kids get a little bit better, rinse that out. New villain, kids defeat, okay, this time we had somebody die, rinse that out, kids get a little stronger, push that aside. New villain, rinse, repeat, defeat, keep it moving. And it's just like the same thing over and over and over. Um, yeah, it's train villain, train villain, train villain, but like at the end it's going to be Shigaraki, and it's like, what are we? Like, I don't hate it. I'm still watching it. Like, it's good, but I don't know. I feel like it's just the same. It's just the same formula, you know. Um, so we'll kind of, yeah, I agree with Tyler. This season is maybe I had high hopes for this season, but now I'm kind of wondering how the future seasons, because season 4 is going to end here. So we'll kind of see what kind of happens with that. But we'll leave that for My Hero on another day. But yeah, Hunter x Hunter above My Hero. If I had to rank it, I'm trying to remember what I gave Code Geass. What did I give it, a 7? I have Hunter x Hunter better than Code Geass. I think I would give it a solid, like my IMBD rating, I think I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, and I feel like that's probably where I'd rank it. Yeah, My Hero's got issues going on. My Hero's got things going on. Hunter x Hunter wasn't perfect, and I've never watched an anime that is perfect. But I feel like it wasn't majorly flawed or made you kind of scratch your head like, this is just not good, you know? Yeah, I agree. My Hero was better kind of at the start, and now I'm questioning kind of what's going on. Tokyo Ghoul, even though it's one of my favorite, it's not a 10 out of 10 because if you guys watched the last 2 seasons, the shit was all over the place. It was just ridiculous. Even manga readers that I talked to, every episode I watched with Tokyo Ghoul there at the end, the last 2 seasons, season 3 and season 4, where we took that time skip and Kaneki was now whatever his name was. I forget what his new mental state name was. I had to go Google search every episode because shit was just wild. Shit was all over the place. Yeah, everybody's gonna have their favorites and stuff, but I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It was one of the more interesting stories of an anime that I've watched. Do I have it? I don't have it over Attack on Titan. And I mean, this might get drawback in debate, but everybody has their favorites. I know some people that hate Hunter x Hunter. I know a lot of people that think Hunter x Hunter is a 10 out of 10 the best thing. It just kind of depends where you have it. I have Attack on Titan over it. I don't know what it is about Attack on Titan, but that shit is just I don't know. That shit has me fucking just drawn in. But again, depending on how Attack on Titan ends, this could all change. And if next year we get word that, hey, Hunter x Hunter's coming back, weekly or monthly manga chapters, anime is going to start late 2021, then we're in there. But again, I know from you guys the Hunter x Hunter storyline is not complete. Attack on Titan is not complete. Just as the way it's going, depending on how Attack on Titan ends, Attack on Titan will probably be my #1 anime when it ends. And now that I think about it, I was thinking about this the other day. Is Hunter x Hunter better than Naruto? I was really sitting down. Just last night, I was sitting down. Is Hunter x Hunter better than Naruto? Naruto has its issues. Every anime has its issues. Naruto has its issues. But I don't know why I can't not rank Naruto high. I don't know if it's because it was when it came out and how old I was and the impact it had on everybody. Am I just nostalgic about Naruto? Or is Naruto that damn good? Honestly, I still don't know how I feel about it, where to put it. Because I think a couple days ago, it's kind of hard, and it depends what you grew up with. There could be something out there that you know is better, but if something was your childhood and was just a deep part, but I'm trying to take out all the filler, all the shit show that was Naruto, then you've got to really step back. Was the peaks of Naruto better than the peaks of Hunter x Hunter, or better than the peaks of other animes? I'm trying to think, what was the most compelling story plot point in Naruto, emotional wise, that was just as emotional as the most emotional moment in Hunter x Hunter, which for me was the Miriam and the Komogi. And maybe it's the Itachi storyline. Was it as emotional as that? Probably not. Mm. Yeah, we're. I don't know. I tried to watch Naruto last year. Seen anything else with do. The thing is, like, I don't even want to sit through the original Naruto. Like, I don't want to sit through pre-Shippuden because it's cool, but it's so hard to sit through things. Like, I went back and watched Dragon Ball way back when. This was before Super came out. I wanted to refresh and make sure I was good. I started at the very beginning, like Kid Goku, Nimbus Cloud, Power Pole type shit, Red Ribbon Army, Android 8, that type shit. It's so hard to go back and watch pre stuff when I know Goku has the ability to summon a fucking uh, spirit bomb the size of a planet. It's so hard to like go back and watch pre stuff. Um, but yeah, so you gotta. I'm trying to think peaks and stuff here to compare it. Basically, I'm stuck with is Hunter x Hunter better than Naruto? I don't know because I don't know if. Oh man, Kakashi versus. But I think we can agree if you're. I think it kind of depends the person you are as well. If you like more action and fighting, I think Naruto is going to be your pick. I feel like that's point blank easy to say. And I feel like it's also hard to compare 150 episodes to 700 plus episodes. Again, maybe not 700 plus episodes because all the filler. So let's say maybe 600, 500. It's hard to compare 150. So you have to ask yourself, is something that was a fifth of the amount of content, was it better than something that was 5 times as much content if you remove the filler? Yo, Inuyasha is good. Don't sleep on Inuyasha. That stuff is very good. Inuyasha was pretty good. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And like Inuyasha was like and Inuyasha had a new plot point every episode, and they just always resolve it in one episode. But I said like, and that's another thing. Like, did Naruto just have such great epic fights that I'm hyping it up more than Hunter x Hunter? I don't know because like you guys said, the pain arc. Some say that's one of the best arcs in anime. Just the whole thing from beginning. Some people say Naruto fell off and was shit after the Akatsuki were killed off and the pain arc was over. Was the Itachi Sasuke stuff? Was the Kakashi Obito storyline? You know, like all those like Naruto has its peaks, but boy did it have its lows. And that's the thing about Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter had its peaks, but besides some random Greed Island stuff, I can't remember of being like Hunter x Hunter having just terrible lows, you know? Minato and Kushina's like there's a lot of emotional moments in Naruto for sure. A lot of emotional moments. Like we could sit here and reflect on the 700 episodes of Naruto. Like there's a lot. I would I'm going to say right now they're even for me. Hunter x Hunter just ended and it's fresh in my mind. I need to kind of like sit back and like let it sizzle, let it marinate for a little bit and maybe address it in like another week or so and kind of see where I kind of put that. Yeah, I would say Naruto, if you're talking action, Naruto wins. But if you're talking a consistent, pretty consistent story with no lulls, Hunter x Hunter, for sure. Again, I just feel like my generation, because I don't know how old you guys are. I feel like my generation, we just can't talk about Dragon Ball. It's too nostalgic. It's the first anime most people have ever read in manga or seen in their life. It's the first time they saw. You know where you were the first time you saw when Goku went Super Saiyan. Like like that shit. You can't take that out of your head. it's hard. It's hard to really bring up Dragon Ball. Are we talking story? Of course not. Dragon Ball doesn't have story. Of course it doesn't. It's never been that deep. But like you hop in, go watch Dragon Ball Z right now and get lost in the sauce. So it's just objective. No, I agree. Hunter x Hunter has much more depth emotionally than anything Naruto put out. But Naruto did have its emotional moments. Characters did die. We did learn things after the fact. Parents dying, characters giving themselves up, all that kind of stuff. Neji dying in Naruto's arms and Obito yelling at him. Like, there was a lot of emotional impact. But, like, deep, like, having levels to it, of course, Hunter x Hunter had better than that. And then it's just like, you just got to talk about it on, like, one watch through, type stuff. But right now, I would say my rankings for animes, and I don't know why Tokyo Ghoul just always has that, like, spot. Even though I agree, Tokyo Ghoul, the way it ended, I feel like it could have been fleshed out so much. And that's another thing that's unfortunate because season 1 and season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul anime for me it's some of the best stuff I've ever watched. Um, but season 3 and season 4, you guys probably don't even, I had season 3 on that's what got my channel terminated for a brief period. I got 3 strikes for the first 3 episodes of season 3 of Tokyo Ghoul. So I just had to end up watching it off stream, and then there ended up having 2 seasons. But the writing was all over the place. They were rushing that shit so much. They crammed in so much information. Flipping Kaneki was turning into a different form of something every single episode. In one episode he had wings, next episode he turned into a dragon that was the size of the moon. Like, there was just a bunch of wild shit happening, like, every single episode. They were packing so much in. We get introduced to this character, and they could turn into, it just got wild. But seasons 1 and 2 of Tokyo Ghoul were some of the best anime that I've seen. Yeah. But I would say I have Attack on Titan up here. Naruto and Hunter x Hunter they're even. I need to let Hunter x Hunter marinate for a little bit, and kind of see where I'm able to put that. I will say Hunter x Hunter definitely took, I'd say, the bigger risk, like Elite Beast said, going from different plots. Because like I said, I was really thrown off for like the first 5 or 10 episodes of the Ant arc. I'm like, we're talking about actual ants. I remember saying that for like 10 episodes straight. Like, when they say ants, is this like a new villain group? Or like, but no, like real biological ants. It took a minute for that to like marinate in my head. The same way when we just like jumped right off of it. I'm like, so this is over. It's over. The ants are done. The same way we went from like video game to like, pivoting. But they made it work. They made it work. Yeah, everybody had. I feel like if you've watched Dragon Ball, you have like your moments. Yeah, that would have been wild. I feel like there's always ways stories could have been written better. That's probably what I have it. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I know as far as animes go, there people have their Naruto's, their One Pieces, and their Dragon Balls. But I feel like after I hear those 4, I feel like the majority of people I see, like on Twitter, on forums, on YouTube, they say Hunter x Hunter is their favorite. But the thing, you know what I don't see though? Even though people say like Naruto is their favorite anime, One Piece is their favorite, Dragon Ball, Code Geass, Full Metal, whatever. What I do see a lot of people say though that I don't see them say about their animes is a lot of people say Hunter x Hunter is like perfect, like it is the perfect anime. That's not a statement I make, but I see a lot of people say that. I've never seen Bleach. I've tried to get into it. 2 years back, I started watching it. I got 2 episodes in. I found out I had to watch like 800 episodes, and I stopped. Um, so I will say though, yeah, after you hear kind of the most anime I hear is Hunter x Hunter, and a lot of people say Hunter x Hunter is like a perfect anime. Um, and we just kind of left it at that. But I know people that have it as their favorite. People in this chat have said Hunter x Hunter is their favorite, but it's not perfect. I feel like no anime is perfect. No anime that I've ever watched is perfect. So whether it's writing, whether it's too much writing, too much fighting, not enough fighting, characters going away you didn't think it was going to go, pacing, not pacing, including, not including, forgetting about a certain plot point and then going a different way. You can sit here and argue like whatever is and isn't perfect, but yeah, and everybody that has their favorite animes, whether it's like a Code Geass or Full Metal, like those animes to you, like they are good. Like that's perfect anime to you. So, and that's the great thing though. Like it's not set in stone. You can enjoy certain things, you can dislike other things, as long as you're able to accept criticism on what things are your favorite, which is hard though. People are really passionate about things, especially their anime. So when you say something negative, and this I see that a lot with a lot of animes, especially with anime. Maybe because I'm in anime, just like sports fans. You have a favorite sports team, and you have a favorite anime or favorite movie. If someone says, "Well, it was okay," or someone says, "I liked it, but," and then goes on something, people get defensive. People get really defensive. So you can call Hunter x Hunter your favorite. You can call Dragon Ball your favorite, Naruto your favorite, as long as you can accept a discussion about it on why it might not be. Say anything's your favorite, man. Enjoy it. If you enjoy it, that's all that matters. It's just there's a lot of people out there though. You say something wrong about Hunter x Hunter, or you go against My Hero or something, people are going to come after your neck. And that's unfortunate that people have things that are their favorites and they can't accept a critique about it. That's unfortunate. Yeah, people there's certain characters that people react to, they love, and it just is what it is. But I mean, we're all here for the same thing. We all enjoy anime, so as long as you enjoy it and get enjoyment out of it at the end of the day, that's all that matters. How would I have improved Hunter x Hunter? Um, Maybe include characters more, kind of like, because as you guys did say, we were able to pivot from like an exam arc to a tournament style to a video game to ants to the elections. But I feel like once we pivoted, a lot of it was kind of left. But that's why the manga is still ongoing. So again, it's hard to say like how would I improve it when I don't know if it's being improved already with certain character. A lot of it just comes down to character types. I think one thing I can say off the top of my head, how would I have improved it? Like nothing, not needing to know what happens in the manga. Gon's character, I would have liked to have seen him. I would like to internally, whether it was a talk with Killua, a talk with himself. Maybe he goes back to his room after he's been brought back. He just breaks down, and we see him just going through it by himself, talking to the new kite, talking to Killua, talking to Gang, talking to himself. Just what does this 12-year-old kid think of it? People say he's a sociopath, so of course he's not going to think about it. It doesn't matter, but even if he is or he isn't, I would have liked to have seen Gon react to what happened in his life, even if it was just to himself. That's kind of the only thing I have, just big off the top of my head. Yeah, the pacing of the Chimera Ant arc, or maybe putting the episodes in a different order, could have been a lot better. Um, so and yeah, I've never watched any One Piece, so I can't comment on that either. But I'll just kind of leave that there. Unfortunately, I do have to run here, guys. Yeah, we did need that explanation on how that elevator worked, even though we never really used it but once after the fact. I thought maybe, okay, they're gonna explain this to us. Miriam's gonna have to use this, or Gon's gonna have to use this elevator in a certain way, but One Piece just seems intimidating for someone to dive in 900 episodes deep. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut that there, guys. I do have to run, unfortunately. Um, I didn't think we'd be streaming for going on 3.5 hours. Yeah, you could cut things, slice things. We'll just kind of leave that there. It was a good review overall, but that is That's Hunter x Hunter. Over a year later, 148 episodes up, 148 episodes down, completely done. If you guys want to do the same thing for Demon Slayer or Full Metal or Vinland Saga, if there's any specific episodes we just need to have live reacted to on Twitch, DM me on Twitter, leave them in the comment sections of this video. Maybe I'll put that up as a poll. If there are any episodes of Demon Slayer, Full Metal, or Vinland Saga that we should have open discussion like this with on Twitch, and we'll just kind of leave that there. You know, yeah, I'm gonna be undecided. I don't know, but what to make of the manga yet. Maybe we'll have a spillover discussion, live reaction on Twitch, of Hunter x Hunter, kind of after it's calmed down. But you guys, let me know if there's ever word of the manga is gonna be consistent. Anime's lurkings, even if it's 10 years, 20 years from now, let me know when I'm in there. You know, I'm in there. I appreciate y'all hanging out. I think we had 20 consistently the whole time. I think we peaked at like 40 or 50 or so. But I really do appreciate it. This video will go up on Monday. Right after this video, probably, well, this video is going to be 2 hours long, but this is going to go up at like 9, 10 a.m. Demon Slayer Episode 1 will be coming out at noon. And that'll be our upload. It'll be Demon Slayer Monday, Full Metal Tuesday, Demon Slayer Wednesday, Full Metal Thursday, off Friday, My Hero Saturday, Vinland Saga / podcast on Sunday. We'll end that there. Yeah, I appreciate the open dialogue. That's why I said you can have your favorites, I can have my favorites. As long as people can have an open discussion on what people might critique about their favorites, and I can accept critique about what y'all might have on my favorites. It's, you know, that's why we're here. Just open discussion. Feel free to, you know, air your grievances on whatever you like, dislike. We can go back and forth. So I appreciate y'all suggesting Hunter x Hunter. It was one of the craziest kind of rides we've had. A lot of views we've had since Dragon Ball Super came out. The Twitch live streams have been great, and we'll kind of take it from there. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the ride. Again, I gave it an 8.5 out of 10 after it's all said and done. If it ever continues, I'll be back in there. I appreciate y'all. As always,